The Japanese have been bombing us like clockwork. Always at 11, and always from the south.
You are cleared for takeoff, Wingmaker. Good luck taking out those Japanese landing craft. Those Marine jarheads could use all the help they can get.
Taken care of. I'd better go help the boys with that attack from the east.
bombers coming in from the south. Protect the airfield at all costs.
That's the first wave taken care of. That's the last of the Bettys taken out, Control.
Troops think they spotted a mini-sub periscope headed for the lagoon. If they're right, we suspect it may be going after the seaplane base. You better check it out, Baker Wing. Sighted off the South Bridge.
Wait, Control. I've spotted the enemy mini-sub. Moving to engage.
The mini-sub is entering the lagoon. still ours. For now.
The relentless bombardment has knocked out the majority of our defenses and aircraft. We cannot hold out much longer, so we've begun evacuation procedures. The Japanese are sending yet another wave of landing craft along with assault troops to overrun the island. You must intercept the boats before they reach the shore. You must hold off the Japanese long enough to give us time to evacuate key personnel. A senior admiral is here on wake, and it is vital that he does not fall into enemy hands. Once he boards his Catalina, you are to escort him to the Enterprise.
Wake Charlie 2. You're cleared for takeoff. Proceed to the northwest and tackle enemy units engaged in the amphibious assault. Your orders are to protect the seaplane base at all costs. Be advised, enemy troops have landed in several locations and we're taking heavy fire from Navy units stationed to the...
Hell! They took out the tower! I've got to get off the ground or I'm done for!
Wake Charlie 2, this is Sergeant North with the Marine platoon guarding the seaplane base. We spotted landing craft headed our way and could use some support. Over.
The troops to the south are being overrun by tanks and cars. I've got to help them if I can.
Wake Charlie 2, this is Sergeant North with the Marine platoon guarding the seaplane base. We spotted landing craft headed our way and could use some support. Over.
The troops to the south are being overrun by tanks and cars. I've got to help them if I can.
fall into enemy hands, as he's got most of our battle plans in his head. Get over to the airbase and escort him back here to the Catalina. This is the Admiral's driver. We are under enemy attack. Need covering fire now. Can anyone hear us?
This is Lieutenant Crow, Wake Island Squadron. I'm moving to your location now.
Thanks, son. It's getting a little crowded down here. Enemy troops are landing from the east! The base is being overrun! Keep your heads down, boys. Looks like those Jeeps have got it in for us. Japanese bomber coming in low at 1 o'clock. He's going after the bridge.
I have to get to that bomber before he destroys the bridge.
Good shooting, Flyboy. Now they're going after the seaplane base. See what you can do to help, Charlie 2.
If the seaplane base is destroyed, the Admiral will be trapped.
Thanks for getting those jets off my back. It was getting a little hairy down here. Nice driving, son. We're almost there. There's our Catalina. Glad it's still in one piece. Charlie Wing, this is the Catalina pilot. Keep them off our back while I get the engine started and warmed up. Uh-oh, we've got incoming valves. Take them out, pilot. Come on, you piece of junk. Start, damn it. Move with your overgrown tin can. Get your metal fanny out of here, and I'll get you a full overhaul when we get back to Oahu. Ah, there's life in the old girl yet. Let's move out, Charlie Wing.
Zeros coming in on our 6. Cover us, Charlie Wing. Zeros coming in from up high at 2 o'clock.
Looks like we got out just in time. The Japs brought half their fleet.
Zeros coming in again. Watch yourself.
I see a bright future for you. We're going to need all the skilled, tough pilots we can get. I think this is going to be a long war.
Somehow I managed to get the Admiral back to the Enterprise in one piece. His cat was so full of holes it just about sank right after they landed. Later we got to talking. He was mighty grateful. He even said I'd done a fine job, which was a big compliment from an old hard-ass. He told me he was transferring to another carrier, the Lexington, and he wanted me to come with him. We were lucky to have any carriers at all. If they were at Pearl like they were supposed to be, we'd be out of the war already. Before I knew it, I was on board the Lady Lex with a whole new crew. We were on our way to the Marshall Islands. My new squadron leader was a guy named Callahan. The Admiral had put in a good word for me, and I was even assigned my own wing. After 2 weeks of clockwork bombing raids and landings, the Japs took wake. Our servicemen fought long and hard. Even the civvies pitched in. I guess they were all hoping that the Enterprise would show up to help. In the end, though, the Japs prevailed, and the commander of Wake surrendered on the 23rd of December. Those Marines on Wake Island were outnumbered, but never outfought.
The Japanese have established a string of formidable bases throughout the Marshall Islands. They have now constructed an airfield at their base on Tarawa. The proximity of this airfield poses a serious threat to our carrier fleet. Our latest scouting mission has revealed construction of 2 radar towers. These towers are an early warning system to alert them of any approaching aircraft. Your mission is to help knock out the radar towers and then destroy the remaining air defenses. This must be accomplished before 1400, as we have C-47s en route to land paratroopers to capture the base.
The Jap base at Tarawa was fat with supplies and equipment, and we were going to blow that place to kingdom come. We wanted to show them they weren't the only game in town.
Callahan. Calling all units in Victor Squadron. Line up in formation over the Lexington. Our bearing is 050. Over.
Crow, you're in charge of your wing now. I hope you paid attention during training.
Yeah, we're ready to go, sir.
Crow, head for the zone point to the east of the fleet. We'll rendezvous at Taroa.
Adopt formation. Protect those ships. Break formation. Form up, people. Adopt formation.
Yes, sir.
Zeros, they're in for a surprise, boys. Show them what these Corsairs are capable of.
Defend this position, men.
We'll defend the area. We are under attack.
Attack my target.
Attacking the fighters. Fighter down.
Support me, men.
Victor Squadron, I confirm visual contact with Japanese radar towers on Taroa. All pilots throttle to the max. Keep an eye out for bogeys. They know we're coming. You guys take the south radar tower. Murphy, Fanshaw, come with me. We'll go after the north tower.
Understood. I won't let you down, sir.
After you've taken out the radar, go after their planes and try to hit them on the ground. Hurry up, Baker Wing. We've taken out the north tower.
This is Victor Baker. Target destroyed. South radar is down. Break formation.
Nice work, Crow. Now try to hit their planes on the ground. Nice work, Crow. Now try to hit their planes on the ground.
Good work, boys. Looks like we caught the Japs with their pants down.
I bagged one.
Engage at will.
Roger that. Party's over, boys. Those AA guns have got our number, so be careful.
Damn, the bombers are getting away.
Their fighters are scrambling, Crow. Shake your tail, son. Yeah, nailed him!
Squadron, this is Skytrain Fox King with Taroa Strike Force on board. We are approaching Taroa now, ETA 1 minute. Hope you guys have taken care of the AA.
Roger that, buddy. We're heading north, dude.
Before the C-47s get here.
Baker Wing, we've got more company. Zero's inbound from the south. You'll have to take them for us.
One less for you boys to worry about. Now you leave with the business. I got one! One more. What are your orders, sir?
Break formation.
Roger that. That's a kill. Another bandit.
Picked one up, boss.
He's flaming out!
Break formation.
This is Taroa Strike Force Leader, the Victor Squadron. Airfield secure. We're mopping up now. Thanks for the assist, Navy. This is Strike Force Leader to Lieutenant Commander Callahan. We just cracked open a hangar down here and there's an enemy Zero inside in pretty good condition. Can you spare someone to fly it home?
Much as I hate to swap a Corsair for a Japanese piece of crap, crap. It'd be handy to get a look at a Zero. Crow, I want you to land and take that Zero back to the Lexington.
Yes, sir. Adopt formation.
Yes, sir. Roger that. Like the Jap Navy doesn't want us to have that Zero. Watch out for interceptors, Crow.
If you think we will let you steal one of our planes, American, you are greatly mistaken. I am Kazuma Yamashita, elite pilot of the 13th Squadron. You will have the honor of being my 18th kill.
Don't count on it, Tojo. I owe you bastards for my brother Charlie. One of us ain't leaving here today.
taken, but my squadron will avenge me.
Tell them William Crow says they can join you in hell.
The Japanese have overrun one of our observation posts and captured an entire platoon of troops. One of the officers there was working directly for Pacific Theater Command. If the enemy discovers his identity, they will show no restraint in finding out what he knows. We need him, and the rest of the prisoners out there, but the POW camp is on an island fortress. You are to neutralize the prison's defenses and breach the cell block walls. A commando strike force will land on the beach. With your support, they will escort the POWs from the island. As Lieutenant Commander Callahan is still recovering from the wounds he received from your last mission, you are temporarily assigned command of Easy Squadron's 4 Corsairs.
Heads up, pilots, we've got company. Multiple targets coming in.
Adopt formation.
Roger that.
Attack my target. Break formation.
Yes, sir. Fighter destroyed!
boys. Not even a warm-up. Wing leader, I've spotted a radio tower. We better take it out before they call in for reinforcements.
Adopt formation.
Roger that.
We're in sight of Cave-In now. ETA 2 minutes. Hope you cleared the way, Easy Squadron.
Engage at will.
Roger that.
We got company. Japanese patrol boats approaching fast.
Jap must like you. He's tight on your tail.
We're getting hit down here. Where is that air cover?
Engage at will. Support me, men.
Roger that. Yes, sir.
Engage at will.
Roger that. Yeah, nailed him!
We've got an incoming from the southwest.
Sir, you've picked up a tail.
Easy Squadron, we need some help here. The Japanese have us pinned down.
What are your orders, sir?
We have an unknown radar contact to the southwest.
Engage at will.
Roger that.
Aegis Squadron, hurry up and take out that gate. We need you to breach the gate and the cell block wall. We need air cover now! We've got an incoming from the north. Hell! They got gun positions in the guard towers!
What are your orders, sir?
Now breach the cell block wall, and we'll be able to get the POWs out! You have an unknown radar contact to the north. You have an unknown radar contact to the north.
Formed up, sir.
Engage at will.
Yes, sir.
Pilot, we need help! Thanks for busting us out, pilot. I'm Tom Stewart. It's nice to see the sunlight again. Is that the new Corsair? Nice. Can't wait to get back in the saddle and take one of those fillies for a gallop. Real soon.
You a pilot, Tom? You better talk to my CO. He's always on the lookout for new blood.
That's it! We're on our way back to the boat. We've got an incoming from the southwest. Here comes trouble. Two Betty bombers are heading in fast. We're sending ducks down here.
He's flaming out!
We boarded the boats and are heading out to the northeast. Bro, patrol ahead and make sure there aren't any surprises for us. You have an unknown radar contact to the north. We've got Japanese destroyers coming in from the northwest. I say we got a few minutes before they're on top of us. Hey, we need air support!
Take a bait!
You have an unknown radar contact to the north. We've got an incoming from the southwest. Good job, Crow. We're clear of the mine. Crow, there's a bunch of Japanese PT boats up ahead. Take them out before the destroyers get here. Easy, Squadron. We're not moving any closer to those patrol boats until you take them out. These boats already have enough holes in them. Thanks, Crow. It's time we made a run for it.
Bailing out!
We have an unknown radar contact to the southwest. Holy crap! Those destroyers are almost on top of us! Bro, see if you can damage their props and slow them down. That's it! Keep hitting them there! That's the way! Now take out the other one!
The ace I fought over the Marshall Islands was Kazuma Yamashita. He was part of the infamous 13th Airborne Squadron who had led the attack on Pearl Harbor. These guys put the final bombs into the Arizona. These were the guys who killed Charlie. The 13th Airborne had the Jap Navy's best flyers, and they put them in their best planes. Callahan said I was lucky to be alive. He'd fought him before, and I was lucky it wasn't Shunagawa, their leader. He was the best flyer Callahan had ever seen, and he was racking up kills all over the Pacific. But I'd survived the fight and brought the Zero down in one piece. It was weird to fly, light as a feather and armed to the teeth. The plane was crated up and shipped back to the Naval Intelligence boys in San Diego. The guys we rescued from the POW camp had only been in there about a month, but they were in bad shape. They'd been starved and beaten by the Japs. Well, I got talking to one of them, a guy named Tom Stewart. Turns out that he was a pilot who'd been shot down and he was itching to fly again. Callahan found a place for him in one of the other wings of our squad. So ex-prisoner of war Tom Stewart got another chance to fly for his country. Callahan ran a tight squad, and before we knew it, we were brushing up on our torpedo runs and dive bombing for the battles ahead. Our attacks on the Marshall Islands only damaged the Japanese base at Tarawa. Elsewhere, the fighting continued. The Japs dug themselves in and even had a few significant victories. They sank their first carrier, the Langley, and our biggest warship in the Far East, the cruiser Houston. So far, we hadn't managed to hit them back. We started to figure we'd be in the Pacific a lot longer than we originally thought. In April of '42, things were looking pretty bad. Morale was low, both in the Pacific and back home. One of our commanders came up with a daring plan to strike a blow at the Japanese. Not on some island somewhere, but right on their mainland. It was called the Doolittle Raid. Our grease monkeys modified a bunch of B-25s to take off from carriers, something they were never meant to do. They launched from the Hornet and bombed factories on the Japanese mainland. Didn't do a hell lot of damage, but it did show the Japs that we had a few tricks of our own. They were feeling our breath on the back of their necks now. Some of the boys who flew the B-25s had to ditch in the ocean, but a few managed to crash land in China. Of the 80 crew, 71 made it back. We heard later that the Japs killed 250,000 Chinese just for helping our boys.